I got my girl Coco next to me. I got my girl DJ next to me. So, oh my goodness, it is so good to see that. Yeah. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Market on the Wall podcast. So, what are we talking about today? We're going to be talking about melting pot.
Melting pot or salad bowl?
Yeah. So at the turn of the 20th century, the phrase melting pot was coined and came into general usage by 1908.
Okay, that's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what is a melting pot since it came about and we're starting to use it? What is it?
So melting pot is known to be the phrase, or it's a metaphor that describes a fusion of nationalities, cultures, and ethnicities. And what else is it known as?
Also, it seems as though there was this idea that was held that basically said, you know what, if we're a melting pot, this country can transform the people of every color, every background into one America.
Yes. So now, what are some pros of having a melting pot
and having a one America? I would believe that it would be because of unity.
Mm-hmm.
We actually, on a side note, have some articles down in the comment section that you can reference and read more about this topic if you're interested.
So the idea of the melting pot has changed over the decades. It was thought to be one thing, but today we see it to be something else.
Okay, so back to the pros about the melting pot theory. You were saying that it causes for unity and also to have a shared identity, so that we can become represented as one America. But the whole question that comes up to me is there American culture? Do we have a culture?
That can be a very tricky thing to say, that America has a culture. But yes, it does. It does have a culture because all the nationalities coming together has created that culture.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
There's definitely the American culture.
And in my opinion, the original American culture would be the natives who were here before the Europeans came over, because if we take the original idea as the Europeans who came over here and then their culture is now American culture, so now everybody has to fall into that. It's almost
But that is what it is. Right? Because think about it. Native Americans, they don't have their own
in Canada,
place.
they're here,
and their lands were taken from them. They don't have their own place. Now they only have what is it called? The reservations. So they don't have the natives to this land don't have that. Mm-hmm. We don't have their culture, and
well, and so that's an idea, right? This is the idea of the melting pot, right? Regardless of whatever opinion on, we're just discussing the theory, right? So now, okay, so that's the idea. They want us oneness. We have one culture. We all assimilate. We're one America. Okay. The idea is also flawed because we are all Americans, North Americans, and South Americans. But it's another day, another topic. So what are some barriers to achieving this melting pot idea?
Well, I, for one, know that something that people do not like is that they get classified or labeled into a group oh, okay, they're Asians, right? Oh, they're Africans. Or they're just Europeans. But we're more than just, because, for instance, someone from Korea is very different from someone from Japan and China, Taiwan, and so on, right? A South African is different from, and when I say South African, I mean the country, South Africa, is different from someone from Senegal or
Algeria.
Exactly.
Sudan.
So people are labeled Asian American or Hispanic American. What is Hispanic American? No, I am
Oh,
Colombian.
What was that interesting
Venezuelan
thought that you saw in one of the articles?
Yes, I saw that one person felt like when they came to this country, their identity of the background of the country that they came from just got lost because they were just coined as Hispanic,
right,
or Latinos, whereby they felt like, no, I identify with a specific culture. I come from a specific place.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot just group me into this category.
Yeah. So it's honestly basically like it's hard to achieve.
So truthfully, your cultural identity gets lost, right? That's a barrier to the melting pot.
Yeah. And so with that, with discussing those types of barriers, there was a new idea that came up. It said melting pot. We don't want to be a melting pot. And here's the thing, I get it. We were discussing this earlier.
Yeah, a lot of people don't agree with that.
And I was talking about a soup I made, and the soup is called a red lentil soup, okay? But when we talk about the soup, there's so many components in it, right? There's oil, there's onion, there's ginger, there's the spices, there's potato, there's carrots. Then there's the red lentil, but who gets to be the star of the red lentil? Because why? You use a blender, you blend everything together, and it just, you can't even really tell what ingredients what, because it was all just mixed.
Yep.
So when you think about melting pot, some people feel like, no, I want to.
That's not what it is.
I want to maintain my identity. I don't want you to think I'm this. I have, I want to be the potato. I want to be the carrot in the soup. So then now we have the idea of the salad bowl. So the salad bowl theory basically calls for us to celebrate our diversity along with our oneness. This is from one of the articles that we read. So basically, when you think about salad, what's your favorite salad?
Cobb salad.
Cobb salad. I like a Cobb salad.
And the thing about the Cobb salad is that everything that is put into it is so important and just makes that salad
delicious. Like you want
the bacon,
the onions
bring some saltiness and crunch to the salad. The onions bring some
tang
exactly to the salad, right?
Egg.
The avocado brings some butteriness to it. The eggs, different flavors, different textures. So that's a salad bowl. So how do we
and you can still identify each piece, but it complements each other, and we like it all together.
I like that in my
You
salad.
can use the fork, and you can be like, tap, take a little bacon, take a little egg, take a little avocado, and and then you eat it, and you're still enjoying it.
Exactly.
But you know each identity.
Yes.
So I like that. It's a nice metaphor that is being used.
Yes. So some people, or some immigrants, wanted to keep their identity when they came here. The immigrants and then the first geners, they wanted to keep their identity. So now we have parents and grandparents teaching their kids like, hey, we are from this specific culture. These are the clothing that we wear. This is the type of food that we eat. Or this is some of the festivals that we, adhere by or attend to, or some of the, like, cultural norms, right? Like, for example, you were saying, like, if you come,
okay. So I was saying earlier that, like, but before I get to that, it's nice to know that you can keep it, because imagine if we were melting pots, like you come and then you like throw your culture away, like you don't wear, the idea of it good in its intentions was slightly a little bit confusing for some to adapt to and slightly fall. But then there are some people who they would come here and they would easily be like, I am no longer from wherever I am. I'm American now, right? There are some people who like that and that's what they want. And then there's some people who, like you said, want to hold on to that.
The thing is, there are certain groups of people here that would always look at you as not being American.
Really?
Unfortunately, yes.
Explain more, sis.
Yeah, like, for instance, those who are Caucasian or, their ancestors have been here
for a long, but they are still foreigners.
They are, but they will look at someone who is African or Indian like, no, you are not American. right?
Yeah.
But then that immigrant from
Feels
the
like-
African or Asian country wants to throw away their identity. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those
I like the salad bowl idea or ideology that we are.
But then we start to slowly. What happens with the salad bowl is like their essence of assimilation going on in the salad bowl, right? Like essence of it in the sense of going back to what they didn't want me to bring out, like. You know, in certain African cultures, how dare you receive or give something with your left hand? Okay, well, after you've lived here for a good year or so, and people are giving cashiers, whoever, they're just giving you things or you're receiving things with that left hand or they're taking things, you're not going to get to a point where you're like, every single time you're, like, you can't. Like, no, so you what? Assimilate, you adapt, and you're like, oh, okay, it's normal. Or like some people from different European countries understanding that if we walk by, hey, how are you? You know that the answer is usually like, good, I'm all right, you know, and you keep pushing. It's not the time. Let me stop and explain my life story because that's not what we do. You assimilate.
I know someone who was actually caught off guard with that. Like, hey, I actually realized that here in America, when your coworker or someone asks you how you're doing, they don't really mean it. They don't really care. They don't really want to know because they're actually they're like passing me by and asking me how am I doing. But next thing you know, they're down the hallway. They're not even waiting for my response. So yeah.
Ah, man. And it's so funny because like we were raised in this culture, so it's like until someone else comes and says something to us, then we're like, oh
yeah. You know, for us being first geners, a lot of things like that is very like an eye opener for us, right? Being in this culture, like being born into it, raised. So when we go back home or when we're with our African family, it's like, okay, we have to have a different ideology or way of thinking. But then when we're here in the States, we have to make sure that we assimilate and be.
Our brain works on overtime.
American ideology.
Right. Yeah. So then what are some barriers to achieving this salad bowl? Because even though it's nice and it's ideal, doesn't mean that everyone wants to adopt to it. No. Right?
Well, we'll see. Part 2.
We'll see in part 2?
Yeah. We're not going to talk too much or give too much away right now.
Right.
But yeah.
So stay tuned. Did you enjoy this? What are your thoughts on the ideas of melting pot? Or the ideas of having a salad bowl? Are they attainable? Do you believe that this is something that it's like, for example, like maybe we'll discuss it more. Is this widespread? Does everyone in America feel this way? Are you new to America? Do you feel like you have to assimilate? Or do you feel like, no, I can hold on to my culture? Like how are you feeling? We'd love to engage with you. We always are responsive to comments and questions in our comment section. So join the discussion.
Yes, please do. As Corporate is saying, please do leave a comment and please give this video a thumbs up. It really does help us a lot. And please share it.
Share it.
If you think what we're talking about, someone else can benefit from it or it's an interest to someone else, please do share it. And let's get the conversation going. We're all learning and navigating life as immigrants, first geners, second, third,
right?
Everything. Or even if you're just Native American born, then, you know, you can get more understanding on
different perspectives.
There we go.
Of different people. So thank you for watching another episode of Market on the Wall podcast.